Hi, welcome to the channel English Professionally, and this video course is for you. 150 English texts. Really, I think that this course is great. Okay, thanks for support, and there are 150 English texts in this course. If you want to understand English speech really well, this course is for you. It's a very good listening practice. You can listen to these very interesting texts. I prepared them especially for you, and listen to them at the same time. Watch all this video. It's a very good speaking practice too, to have a natural English conversation. Okay? So are you ready? I hope that you're ready to start. Okay, so let's do it. Well, so the first one, my attitude towards sport. There is no doubt that sport plays a very important role in our life. As for me, I am fond of sport. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a professional sportsman. I just love different kinds of sport, and I do sport when I have free time. I know there are many reasons why people think sport is important in our life. Personally, I think it helps me to be fit, and it brings positive emotions into my life. It's part of my life. Next, making a career. I think it's very important to make a career. Firstly, I want to get a good education. Secondly, I'd like to have some work experience. It's very important for me and for my future employer. It's very difficult to find a job if you don't have any work experience. I really like to move up the career ladder. It will bring more money, success, and satisfaction. I want to be the best in this area. Business. I'd like to have my own business. What can it give me? Lots of positive things. For example, money, freedom, independence, respect, new friends and connections. I know that successful businessmen earn lots of money. At the same time, it's very difficult to reach this level. I mean, to have a successful or profitable company. Moreover, it's risky. The level of competition is very high nowadays. Anyway, I am full of energy and I feel I can try. Our friends. A friend in need is a friend indeed. I absolutely agree with this statement. Friends help us when we have different problems and when we need their help, but friendship isn't only about help. It's much more. I like spending time with my friends. It's a wonderful feeling to have real friends who will never let you down and who will always support you and help in trouble. Money. Let's talk about money. It's a very important subject. I suppose everyone will agree that money gives us freedom. It helps us feel financially independent. I mean, if we have lots of money and different sources of income. The more money we have, the more things we can afford to buy. It goes without saying. However, I think money shouldn't be the meaning of life. It's just one side of our life. Money is a means. It isn't everything. Love. What is love? I think it's a wonderful feeling. All people want to be loved. However, real love isn't only about receiving. It's about giving, helping, caring, supporting. In my opinion, real love is without evil. If you love someone for something, it can be called pure love. It seems to me that people who have a clean heart love other people for nothing. They are happy when you are happy, even though you aren't his or her friend. Computer. I have a computer. Of course, you aren't surprised. Everyone has a computer nowadays. My computer is very powerful and modern. I bought it last year for $1,000. I do lots of different things with the help of my computer. I work, study, and entertain. It's almost impossible to do without a computer nowadays. Internet. As for me, I use the internet every day. Why do I need it? First of all, for work. I receive around 200 emails. I receive about 200 emails every day, and I have to answer all of them. Really, my work is connected with the internet. I work for a big company which sells different goods online. I also have to monitor the market. It's a lot of work. The second reason is that I use the internet for entertainment. I like watching different videos on YouTube. Yesterday. I had an ordinary day yesterday. I was busy almost all day. I went to work very early and came back at about 6 o'clock in the evening. After that, I went for a walk with my friends. We walked for about 2 hours. The weather was fine. We had a great time together. I like spending time with my friends. I didn't watch TV in the evening. I prefer to spend time online, so I used the internet until midnight. Then I went to bed. My profession. I'm a sales manager. I like my profession. I like communicating with people. Is it easy to be a sales manager? I think it's a matter of experience and professional skills. It isn't so easy to sell, but I sell very good products. The quality of these products is supreme. So let me make a conclusion. If you offer a very good product and this product is unique in some way, your sales will be stunning. You'll sell well and you'll make other people happy. Learning English. I like learning English. It's more than just a hobby. Certainly, I do it for pleasure, but I perfectly understand that I need English for my career growth. I started learning English 5 years ago. Actually, I tried different methods. I think that when you learn English online, especially for free, that's great. It's possible to find very good materials in video format, so this channel, English Professionally, is no exception. I'm so happy. Improving listening skills. I want to tell you one story. This is a real story. This is a story from my life experience. To tell you the truth, I had lots of problems with listening in the past. It was a real problem for me. I managed to solve this problem and improve my listening skills greatly. I understand everything and my English level is advanced. I think that I know English like native speakers. The secret of good listening skills is quite simple. Listen to something in English as much as you can. Improving speaking skills. You have to agree that it's very important to speak English fluently. Many people know English grammar, but they can't speak English. They have a language barrier and they can't overcome this barrier. I think the situation is familiar to you. I firmly believe that it's possible to start speaking English quite quickly if you train regularly. To speak English, well, you need more practice. Try to speak English every day. It should be like a habit. Improving writing skills. I think that we need to speak English well first of all. However, it's important to write in English correctly. What does it mean? We should write without mistakes and clearly. How can we improve our writing skills? It seems to me that we need to write more. I know most people don't like it. It can seem very boring, but it's a very good way of training. Write more, make up your own texts, try to have more practice. Reading. From my point of view, reading is a very good pastime. What do I read in my free time? I read mostly books related to my profession or my hobbies. Moreover, I'd like to be sincere. I don't want to look very clever. I'll tell you things how they are. I prefer to read articles, so you can read one long book or 30 articles. I think that reading articles is a short way of getting knowledge. It takes less time and the information is great. Spelling. Let's talk about spelling. Is it important? I think it is. However, it isn't in the first place. So, what is in the first place? I think speaking, and in the second, grammar and vocabulary. To sum up, I don't want to say that spelling is unimportant. You know, we are writing less and less nowadays. I mean with our hands. Okay? So, good. So, computer programs can correct our mistakes. Life is easier with modern technology. Okay, with modern technology. So really, life is easier with it. Okay? Well, so next. The popularity of English. We can't deny the popularity of English. All people need this language. When you travel, you need English. When you do business with foreign partners, you can't do without English. When you communicate with people from other countries, you also do it mostly in English. We can come to the conclusion that it's necessary to know English well. If you have time and motivation, you can also start learning other foreign languages. English grammar. I think it's important to know English grammar. What are the most important parts of English grammar? I think it's the following: tenses, present simple, past simple, future simple, present continuous, present perfect, verbs, be, do, see, adjectives, big, small, adverbs, quickly, well, nouns, book, table, articles, a, and, the, different grammar structures, modal verbs, conditionals, reported speech. If you know grammar well, you'll speak English correctly, I mean without mistakes. English texts. Do you like English texts? I think most people don't like it. If you ask my opinion, I'm sure that good, tests, English tests, So, you see, do you like English tests? I think most people don't like it. If you ask my opinion, I'm sure that good tests are very useful, whereas bad tests are useless. English tests help us check our knowledge. We can understand what our weak points are with the help of the tests. If you study grammar, don't think that they are unnecessary. If you focus on speaking, it's another thing. You just need to speak well. English levels. What's your English level? It's a very common question. As you know, there are different English levels. Starter, you know almost nothing, just basic words and phrases. Beginner, you know more words and you can make simple sentences by yourself. Elementary, it's a good level for a start. You know and understand more words and grammar. Pre-intermediate is between elementary and intermediate, the next level. Intermediate, quite a high English level. Upper intermediate, you're almost an expert. Advanced, you know English perfectly or almost perfectly. English lessons. I remember my English lessons at school. It was a very good school where I could study up to 4 languages. Just imagine it. I chose English and Spanish, but I could study more. Simply, I didn't have time for it. Our English lessons were very funny. We studied a lot. Our English teacher was very professional. She encouraged us to speak more and more, and I really tried to do it. I can say quite successfully. My English teacher. I admire my English teacher. Let me tell you why. Firstly, he knows English perfectly. I know there are many English teachers, yeah, there are many English teachers, but all teachers can't be the best at the same time. As far as my English teacher is concerned, I'm sure that he is the best English teacher in the world. You can disagree with me, but I know that I know English perfectly like a native speaker thanks to him. Thank you very much, my English teacher. YouTube. What do you know about YouTube? I think that we all know that we can watch different videos on YouTube for free. The collection of these videos is stunning, yeah? These, so many, we say this video, but these videos is stunning, okay? So the choice is unbelievable. You can watch exactly what you need. I'm sure that YouTube will be replacing TV more and more. It's a fact. We live in the 21st century. This is the era of modern technology. We can use YouTube both for entertainment, fun, and for education. Traveling. I really like traveling. I've been to many countries. At the same time, I think it isn't enough. I'd like to visit all the countries in the world. It may seem a crazy idea, but you know, traveling is my passion. When I visit new places, see new people, and know a lot about culture, traditions, customs, and so on, I have a special feeling. I can't stop. I feel so excited. I want to travel and see the most famous places of interest for a start. My future profession. You know, it isn't easy to choose your future profession. However, I have some thoughts about it. I need to earn enough money, so I need to choose such a profession where my salary can be high enough. I'd also like to take my talents into account. I'm good at sport and singing. Honestly, I want to be a sportsman. I can take part in different international competitions. I can train other people and get money for it. Weather. What kind of weather do I like? My favorite season is summer, so I like it when it's warm and sunny. I can spend hours with my friends, of course outside. I don't like rainy weather. There is just one advantage in it. So I can stay at home and concentrate on learning something. If the weather is bad, I study much better. I have noticed it many times. I don't have to study in summer, so I look forward to warm, sunny days. Swimming. I'd like to tell you about my hobby. It's swimming. I really enjoy swimming. I started swimming when I was 4. I learned to swim very quickly. Why do I like this hobby? It helps me be in a better shape. My body is quite strong, and that's thanks to swimming. When it's warm, I prefer to swim in the river or in the lake. I mean, if I stay in my country, if I go abroad, I swim in the sea or in the ocean. It's wonderful. Movies. I really like watching movies. I work very hard and have little free time, but I try to find time for entertainment. It helps me relax. I think watching movies is a very good way of entertaining. However, I've noticed one interesting thing. I prefer to watch short videos on YouTube. It's sometimes boring for me to watch one movie for almost 2 hours. When you watch a short video, you can relax, and it doesn't take much time, right? My school. I like my school. I know many schoolboys and schoolgirls go to school with a sense of reluctance. That's not about me. I look forward to my school days. I have many friends at school. I like spending time with them. We can discuss lots of things during the breaks. Secondly, I get knowledge. My school is very good. And all our teachers are real experts. They give us real knowledge. Economist. I want to be an economist. I know some people think there are too many economists nowadays. This isn't a new thing for me. I want to be the best economist in our country. I'll try to do my best to make my dream come true. If you are the best in a certain area, you'll be successful, so I'll do what I want. I'm good at mathematics and I like counting and analyzing. I'm not afraid of different obstacles on my way. I'll be the best. Manager. I'd like to become a manager. You don't need to study a lot to be a manager. Some people believe you don't even need higher education to manage other people. I think that everything comes with practice and experience. It's necessary to get a higher education, but I need to start working as soon as possible. I want to make a career. I don't want to spend 4 or 6 years at university learning only theory. I need real knowledge and work experience. Sales manager. I want to become a sales manager. My best friend wants to become a manager. In contrast to him, I don't want to be an ordinary manager with a low salary. I want to be a sales manager. If you are a sales manager, your salary depends on your sales. The more you sell, the more money you get. You can earn more than $5,000, more than $5,000 monthly is a normal thing for a good sales manager in a good company. Top manager. I want to become a top manager. What's the difference between a top manager and an ordinary manager? A top manager is the main manager. He or she manages other managers. It's a very good position in the company. The salary of a top manager is very high. I often hear from other people that their salary can be more than $30,000. I mean, if it's a huge company. I also like top management because it's interesting. My job. Let me tell you about my job. I'm a student and I work as a shop assistant part-time. If you ask about my job, I will tell you that I really like it, but it isn't my dream job at the same time. How can we understand it? I work there for money and experience. This money is very good for a student. However, I want to earn more money and I also want to grow professionally. That's shortly about my job. My dream job. Let me tell you what I want from my future job. Money is in the first place. I want to earn at least $5,000 a month. Secondly, I want to do what I like. I want to go to work with enthusiasm. Moreover, I want to be respected and valued. I also need professional growth. I want to have good colleagues who can help me and support me when I need it. Last but not least, corporate culture is very important for me. Business. I know many people dream about having their own business. I fully understand them. At the same time, it isn't easy to do business in some countries. There are lots of barriers for businessmen. Many businessmen name such problems as big taxes, corruption, unfair competition, and so on. If you want to start up your own company, don't think that your success will be immediate. First of all, you need to have a good business plan. Summer. Summer is my favorite season. Look, summer is coming soon. What I usually do in summer? I usually go to the country house where I can breathe fresh air and spend almost all day outdoors. You know, when you live in the city, sometimes you want to escape from everything. You need peace and silence. I like swimming. In the lake in summer, swimming is my hobby. I like cycling. Summer is a wonderful time for it. My favorite kind of sport. Football is my favorite kind of sport. I really enjoy playing football. I can play football all year round. This game is very popular. I don't watch football matches so often, but I play football with my friends. I'm sure that playing football all day in the open air is much better than playing computer games all day. So if you play regularly, it's good for your health. I play football and spend time with my best friends. It's amazing. Good friends. Who are good friends? They will never let you down. They are always ready to help you. They are happy when you are happy, even though you might be unhappy. Real friends understand you at once. As for me, I have several very good friends. What I have written above is true about them. I wish I had more good friends. So let's be friends. Friendship is a wonderful thing. True happiness. What is true happiness? As people say, tastes differ. However, most people associate happiness with the following. They want to be successful in life. They want to have a good job and good money. Most people want to have a good family and children. There are wishes too. People want, in most cases, to have a car, a flat and a country house. It's also very important for some people to go abroad quite regularly. These things often make people happy. My wishes. I'd like to share some of my wishes with you. So here is a list of my wishes. First, I want to be happy. Happiness is a wonderful feeling. Second, I want to earn enough money. As they say, enough money is never enough. I mean enough to satisfy our needs. I want to help other people if they need my help. I know I'm a little bit selfish, but I want to be better. Doctor. Would I like to become a doctor? As far as I'm concerned, I don't think it's the best choice for me. However, certainly I deeply respect doctors because they help people to live. Doctors save people's lives. You know, when it's a matter of life and death, you need to be very responsible. Doctors don't earn millions, but they do a very important thing. They cure people, making the world happier and better. Teacher. Would I like to become a teacher? I think not. Let me tell you why. I think it's very boring when you have to repeat the same things again and again. Moreover, I don't have enough patience. You know, students, many students, students can behave differently. You need to control the discipline and you need to control yourself. Actually, it isn't so easy. Sometimes, I think it isn't the best variant for me. We should do what we really enjoy. Actor. Would I like to become an actor? I think it's really interesting. If you are a famous actor or actress, that's great. You have everything. I mean popularity, money, friends, connections. Your life is amazing. You enjoy the job and you make other people happier. Anyway, there is one small problem. How to become so popular? I know it's really difficult. I know that some people gained popularity with the help of YouTube. It's one of the opportunities. Driver. Would I like to become a driver? I think not. I can tell you why. So there are several reasons. You have to work very hard for little money. The level of competition is very high. There are more and more drivers. It's very difficult to compete with huge companies. The second reason is that there is little development in this job. I'd like to have a creative job, so I think this job isn't for me. Waiter. Would I like to be a waiter? If I were a student, I would consider it. There are several advantages of being a waiter. You work part-time and you get tips in addition to a salary. If you work as a waiter in a big city, I think you can earn $100 a day or more. You might not believe me, but I know some waiters who earn this money. However, if we look at it from the strategic point of view, I don't think it's the best job. Police officer. Would I like to become a police officer? I think it's quite interesting. There is one thing connected with this profession which I particularly like. What is it? It's stability. You can work as a police officer, yeah? You can work as a police officer for a long time. The chances that you'll be fired are very low. Secondly, you can think about career growth. It's possible, yeah, whereas, so it's in one word, so it's possible, whereas there are some professions where it's impossible. Working as a police officer, you serve our country. Engineer. Would you like to be an engineer? You know, this profession was very popular. Nowadays, I doubt the popularity of this profession. Managers are very popular nowadays. If you want to become an engineer, you'll have to study a lot and it will be very difficult for you to find a job after you graduate from university. If you want to work as an engineer, it's a real problem. There are many engineers who are unemployed. Fitness trainer. Would I like to become a fitness trainer? If I had a special education and strong body, why not? To tell you the truth, I am fond of sport. I like going to the gym. Sometimes I take personal trainings. You know, the popularity of fitness is growing in our country. It's a new trend. If you go to the fitness club, it's a normal thing. It means that you want to be fit and sexy. It's a general idea. So if you work as a fitness trainer, it'll be easy to find a job, especially if you are one of the best fitness trainers. Accountant. Would you like to become an accountant? I know many people think that accountants earn lots of money. Is it really so? Certainly, there are some people, accountants, who earn plenty of money. It's like in every profession. However, I often hear that many accountants have problems with their employment. The reason is that there are too many accountants. If you live in a big city, for example, you might compete with other accountants who live in small towns. Many accountants are ready to work as freelancers and take decent work for little money. It's a real problem for many accountants who live in big cities. Decent work is getting more and more popular. Dancer. Would I like to become a dancer? Why not? This profession seems interesting. Secondly, I know good dancers earn good money. You can take part in different international championships and take the first place all the time. You might think it's impossible. Some people say nothing is impossible. However, it's just one side of this profession. You can work in a dancing club, giving group and personal trainings. If you do it, you'll have enough money, but work isn't only money. It's a way of life. If you like dancing, it can be yours. If not, you'd better choose another profession. Spanish teacher. Would I like to be a Spanish teacher? I think it's an interesting idea. I like this amazing language. The popularity of Spanish is growing. Many people want to speak Spanish fluently. You know, some people think there are too many English teachers. The level of competition in this area is very high. I want to tell you one thing. I want to be a Spanish teacher. I wish more people could speak Spanish fluently. I think it's a good wish. Farmer. Would I like to be a farmer? Can you guess my answer? Well, if I live somewhere abroad, I would consider it. The fact is that agriculture isn't popular in our country. Isn't popular in our country. We mostly import. I'd like to develop the agriculture in our country, but it's very difficult to do it if you are a farmer. So huge corporations control the market. Meanwhile, the idea of growing something in my garden appeals to me. Why not? I'm for healthy nutrition. Postman. Would you like to be a postman? You know, if I were a student and I needed money, I would think about it. Let me tell you why. You won't earn millions, yeah? So it's about future, so not want but won't, yeah? Will not. You won't earn millions, but you'll have a stable salary. You won't be afraid of the future. You'll count on this money. Some people say it's better to get a little less money, but when you have confidence in life, but it isn't the only reason. It's quite good for your health. I like moving. It's my way of life. Cook. Would I like to be a cook? I'd like to be honest with you. I like to eat. So if I were a cook, I could, eat. Yeah, I could eat something tasty all the time. I think it's an important reason. I could cook for my family, my friends, and guests. I consider this job very creative. As for money, if you're a professional cook and work in a good place, your salary will be really high. However, there is one small problem. You have to stand for hours cooking. It isn't very good for health, but work is work. Estate agent. Would I like to be an estate agent? I think this profession is very interesting. Moreover, you can earn good money. In addition to it, you work part-time. It means you don't need to be in the office all day. I mean, if you are a private estate agent, really, you can be very rich. If you help to sell or buy a flat, you get a percent. It can be 3%, for instance. Imagine that one flat costs $200,000. How much will you get? Shopkeeper. Would I like to be a shopkeeper? I think this idea isn't crazy. It's a real thing. Everyone, everyone can become a shopkeeper. It isn't a problem at all. The problem is how to make this business successful. You need to understand that you'll have to compete, with other companies. I mean, not only other shopkeepers. You'll have to compete with chains. It's really very difficult. Their assortment is stunning. It's a brand. People go there, but you can try. Receptionist. Would I like to be a receptionist? It is said that this job is mostly for women. However, I know some men who have this job. In theory, I could work as a receptionist, but not in our country. If you like foreign languages, this job can suit you. I like communicating with people. At the same time, this job can be a bit tiring. I'd like to be a manager, but working as a receptionist can be my first step. Office worker. Would you like to be an office worker? Certainly, there are some advantages and disadvantages of this job. Let's look at its minuses. If you are an office worker, you have to work full day and be in one place. It can seem a bit tiring. I know some people prefer to work in the evening or at night when they have inspiration. If you are an office worker, you usually have to work from 9 to 6 and you can't change it. Photographer. Would I like to be a photographer? If you want to hear my opinion, this profession is quite interesting, despite the fact that some people don't take it seriously. The thing is that if someone has a good camera, he or she can think that this profession is very easy. I also think that it's difficult to find a job working as a photographer. Most people can do without a photographer because, as it was said above, if they have a good camera, they can take photos by themselves. IT worker. Would I like to become an IT worker? Sure. The popularity of this profession is obvious. This profession is getting more and more popular nowadays. It's very easy to find a job for IT workers. If we look at the current situation with professions, we can see there are too many managers and economists, so it isn't easy to find a good job for a manager or for an economist in contrast to an IT worker. It's just my personal opinion. Bus driver. Would I like to become a bus driver? Honestly speaking, I don't think it's for me. I have a good education and I'd like to apply my knowledge somehow. I think this profession is very tiring and monotonous. There is no development here. Last but not least, the salary of a bus driver is quite moderate and I'd like to add one thing. Not everyone can sit for such a long time, almost every day. I think it's an important aspect. Taxi driver. Would I like to work as a taxi driver? I think that if I could drive well, I would work as a taxi driver if I needed money urgently. Some people think that this job is very simple. I agree with it. This job doesn't require any special education. Just need to drive well and have a driver's license. This job gives you freedom. You can plan your day if you work for yourself, you can work for a company. In this case, you'll have more clients, but you'll be paid less. Writer. Would you like to become a writer? Let me tell you what I think about all this. I'd like to be a famous writer, but not an ordinary one. Really, it's very easy to write something. There are many websites and blogs where you can find lots of information you need. If you want to be a successful writer, you need to do two things. First, to write something interesting and unique, something very special. Second, to promote it. I think this point is more difficult than the first one. Vet. Would I like to be a vet? I respect this profession. Doctors cure people, but vets cure animals, including pets. I greatly admire doctors who save people's lives. It's a great responsibility. You know, animals also, so they also, what do? They also suffer. They feel pain and they need help. I think people who don't love other people and who are indifferent to animals can't be vets. TV presenter. Would I like to be a TV presenter? You know, how many channels can you name or popular programs? Not so many. The thing is that millions of people, I suppose, would like to be a TV presenter, but how to do it? If you don't have connections, it'll be very problematic, almost impossible. It's a fact. We can't escape this fact. I think if you want to be a TV presenter, you can start with your own YouTube channel. Why not? Surgeon. Would you like to become a surgeon? You know, I thought about that. If you want to help people, you start thinking how you can do it. For example, you can become a teacher and teach people. Anyway, being a doctor is another thing. When you are a surgeon, you have only one choice: to be the best. Other people's lives depend on you. If you make a mistake, a person can die. It's terrible. So if you're ready to study very hard, you love medicine and people, this profession might be for you. Travel agent. Would I like to be a travel agent? I want to tell you that I know several foreign languages, such as English, Spanish, Italian, and Chinese a bit. If you're thinking about this profession now, the knowledge of foreign languages is necessary. However, I would only give a negative answer. I wouldn't like. So if it's a negative answer, you need to say, I wouldn't like to be a travel agent. Good. Lecturer. Would I like to be a lecturer? Why not? You need to know a certain subject very well and have an audience who could listen to you. You know, if you want to have a good lecturer, to have a good lecturer, you need to prepare a lot or have lots of experience. Without preparation, knowledge, and experience, your lecture can be very bad. If you want to be a professional lecturer, you need to train a lot. Tailor. Would I like to be a tailor? I think this job is quite simple. I also think this job was mostly popular in the past. If we look at the present time, people buy lots of things, use them, and then throw them away. Some people repair things, but this practice isn't so common nowadays. Secondly, there are big companies who can do this job too. If you're a private master, it isn't so easy to find clients. Soldier. Would you like to be a soldier? I think it could be okay for a year. If you ask me whether I want to be a soldier for a longer time or not, I would say no. Why? Being a soldier is like a school of life. You are trained, you communicate with other soldiers in different situations, life tests you, life tests your character. You need to have a strong character to be yourself. Most people think that soldiers waste time, but I think someone must defend our country. Someone must defend our country. Singer. Would I like to be a singer? I think it's a very interesting idea. I like singing. I suppose popular singers earn good money. They are also very creative people, let me admit it. What do we need to become a successful singer? So really, it's a good question. You see, I suppose several things. Money. You'll pay for promotion. I think you need a very rich sponsor, a perfect voice, talent, a good producer, target audience, in other words, your fans. You need to produce something special. You need to make your songs great hits. Why I like English? I like English for several reasons. I can communicate with people from other countries if I know English. This language is quite easy. You can compare English with such languages as Chinese, Japanese, Arabic, and so on. As for me, I know English quite well. I'm sure it will help me find a better job. I watch different videos in English on YouTube. It's so funny. I also study it by watching movies or videos. Builder. Would I like to be a builder? I think this job is quite interesting. People live in a house or a flat, so we can come to the conclusion that this profession is in demand. Builders usually build houses, but they also do repairs. If they have some clients, they can have a good income. I don't think this job is boring if you love it. If you love something, it's never boring for you. I enjoy learning English. Yeah, it's a good example. Would you like to be a copywriter? First of all, I'd like to clarify this word. Who is a copywriter? He or she makes up different texts. Let me give you an example. Imagine that you're going to create your own website. You understand that you need some texts. Where will you take them? You can write it by yourself, but what will you do if you don't have free time or there are too many texts? A copywriter can do it instead of you. Programmer. Would you like to be a programmer? If you want to hear my opinion, I'm absolutely sure that this profession will be getting more and more popular. It's obvious that programmers are in great demand now. They have a good salary. If you know English well, you can consider working as a programmer abroad. I know many people who were programmers immigrated to the United States. Anyway, if you stay in your country, I think you can count on a good salary. The importance of homework. Do you think that homework is important? I think we can do without homework, but if you want to make progress more rapidly, you need it. It helps you revise your knowledge. Homework helps you feel confidence. When you do different exercises and you see that you can do it, you start feeling confidence. It's a wonderful feeling. When there is too much homework. Certainly, I don't like it when there is too much homework. I'm sure giving homework is a good thing, but it should be done in moderation. Some teachers give students an incredible amount of homework. On the one hand, it's good. On the other hand, I suppose teachers should understand that not all students can cope with this homework, so it can have an opposite effect. Exams. Do you like exams? It can seem a strange question. Who likes exams? I also feel that we feel really worried when the exams are coming. As for me, I really feel worried and it happens for no reason. Even though I know all the material perfectly, I think it's a very stressful time. Anyway, exams help us check our knowledge and find our weak points. The importance of exams. Let me tell you why I think exams are important. First of all, they motivate to study much harder. Would you study hard if you had no marks and no exams? I really doubt. When you know that we'll have to take an exam, our behavior is completely different. We start thinking about different ways how to pass this exam successfully. The answer is quite simple. Study hard, train a lot, and the exam will be easy for you. Exams are coming. Exams are coming. How do you feel? I suppose you feel frightened. You panic. You feel worried. You feel that you aren't ready and you want to have more time for preparation. I'm sure these feelings are familiar to all of us. I know how to feel less worried before the exams. Get ready for them. Have confidence. As you know, confidence comes with training. My favorite subject, English. English is my favorite subject. I think you aren't surprised to hear that. Why do I love English? First of all, I understand. that I need this subject. I need it for my future, I need it for my job and my success. You know, we live in the 21st century. There are no borders between countries if you want to communicate with someone. If you don't know English, you can feel isolated, so I understand the necessity of learning English. My favorite subject, Spanish. I'd like to tell you that Spanish is my favorite subject. Guess why? We have a wonderful teacher. She's a very professional teacher. She really teaches you. I started learning Spanish 2 years ago. You might ask me about my current Spanish level. I can tell you that I can speak Spanish. I can say the same in Spanish. Hablo el español. So I think our success in foreign languages also depends on our teacher. I'm lucky that I have such a great Spanish teacher. Maths. I think you aren't surprised that mathematics is my favorite subject. I like counting. I am quite good at figures. My dream is to become an economist. I know that I need two things for it, to know maths and economics very well. You know, some subjects seem a little bit boring for me. I like mathematics for nothing. I like it just because I like it. The most important subject for me. I think it's an interesting subject to talk about. I also think that the most important subject for me at school was English, while the most important subject for me at university was management. Let me tell you why. Right, I suppose you also think that we study at school mostly general subjects. That's important for our development and general knowledge. As for university, education here is related to our profession. It's also very important. My school. I want to tell you that my school is my second home. It can sound a bit strange, you know. Anyway, I consider my school the best school in the world. The knowledge I get here is worth of admiration. I really know a lot about different subjects related to a school program and even more. Our teachers have the best qualifications. They are more than just ordinary teachers. They inspire us, they motivate us, they support us. It's a real paradise. My classmates. Let me tell you about my classmates. I know some of my friends aren't lucky with their classmates, but that's not about me. I'm proud of my classmates. They're so friendly. They are always ready to help. They know a lot and it's never boring with them. You know, I have very good friends at school. Most of them are my classmates. I think after we finish school, we'll also keep in touch. An ideal teacher. You know, it isn't so easy to give a definition of an ideal teacher. I'll simply tell you what I think about all this. Firstly, an ideal teacher must teach well his or her students, if it's many students, so must know the subject perfectly or very well. Secondly, an ideal teacher must inspire his or her students and help them develop their talents. What else? Ideal teacher or ideal teachers, many, must love people. If you love other people, you try to do everything for them. I want to be a good English teacher. Actually, it's my greatest dream to be a good English teacher. What do I need for it? I think first of all, patience. If you can't be patient, this profession isn't for you. You might ask me what is in the second place. So, from my point of view, you need to know English perfectly. If you know English like a native speaker, you'll be able to help your students more. My first dream. As you know, almost everyone has their own dreams. As for me, I also have some dreams. I'd like to tell you about my first dream. I want to buy a flat in our city. You know, I live in the city, but I don't have my own flat. I have to rent a flat and I pay for it $800 monthly. It's a huge sum of money for me. My salary isn't very high, so there is little money left for other things. I want to save up money and have my own flat. My second dream. My second dream is connected with my work. I'm not unemployed. I have a job, but I'm not fully satisfied with it. My salary is rather low. The second problem is that I don't see any career growth. It means that if I stay here, my salary will be the same 10 years later, but the prices won't be the same, they'll be much higher. It's obvious, I perfectly understand it, so my second dream is to find a really good job with a good future for me. My third dream is to buy a car. I have a driver's license, but I can't drive a car well because I lack experience. It's a fact. So I think I need to do two things. Before taking a car, I need to take several driving lessons. To be more exact, I suppose I'll need about 20 driving lessons to feel really confident. The second step will be buying a car. I need a car. It will give me freedom and independence. My fourth dream. What is my fourth dream? I want to have many friends. The more, the merrier. It's a very famous English saying. I have to confess, I have to confess that I'm an introvert. So what does it mean? It means that I prefer to spend time mostly alone or in a small company. Nevertheless, it doesn't mean that I don't want to make friends. It's my dream. I'm ready to help friends and I expect help from them. My fifth dream. We've just talked about my first four dreams. It's time to talk about my next dream. First, I want to tell you that it isn't connected with material things. Life isn't only money. We all know that our life is much broader. We have a soul. We can have some spiritual values. Okay, I'll be short. I want to have a family. I look forward to my family happiness. I think the time has come to change something in my life. My sixth dream. Can you guess my sixth dream? I think it isn't so easy to do it. Why? Many people have never thought about that. It's connected with our life strategy. Really? I'm sure it sounds really interesting. In short, I want to be financially independent. So what is it? It means that you don't have fears related to work and future. You know that you have enough money at hand and it will be so later too. So you can combine your work with your hobbies. My seventh dream. I'm going to tell you, my seventh dream. I hope you can guess it very quickly. I want to have a country house. I live in a big city and the air here isn't very clean, to put it mildly. So I'd like to breathe fresh air. Some people have a country house and go there mostly in summer. I'd like to have such a country house where I could live all year round and and enjoy nature, but there is one condition, it should be near. My character. It's very interesting to talk about someone's character. I'm a very open person. I'm sincere, honest, reliable and helpful. What else? I like meeting new friends and talking to people. If you want to be my friend, welcome. I'm really glad. I also want to say that I don't like it when someone lies about something. I'm a diligent person. My best friend. I have several good friends, but I have one best friend. His name is Max. He is the same age as me. I'm 29 and he's 29 too. We were classmates. We have known each other since the first forum. In other words, it's more than 20 years. Just imagine it. I'm so happy that I have such a good friend. He is a real treasure. He is always ready to help. He doesn't know the word no when you ask him to help you. It's a unique case, I think. Buying or renting a flat. To buy a flat, you need lots of money. For example, if you want to buy a flat in our city, you'll have to pay at least $100,000. You'll have one room and your flat will be very far from the center. Of course, you can buy it if you have some money, but who has such money? I think most people have an average salary and they can't afford to buy a flat. They have to rent it. I think it's good to save up some money if it's possible. How to be successful? How can I answer this question? I'm not an expert in this area. I just want to tell you my personal opinion. First of all, we need to understand what success is. Many people think that if you have a good income, you are successful. However, some people disagree with it. Really? What's the criteria of success? Surgeons perform very difficult operations, saving people's lives. Their salary is average, but aren't they successful? I can give you one more example. There are women who stay at home looking after their children. Aren't they successful? I think it's a heroic action to be a mother even of one child. We have to admit that people perceive success differently. How I learn English. I like to tell you how I learn English. I learn English on the channel English Professionally. I really like this video format. I believe it's a highly effective method of learning English. I feel real progress. You can find all these videos for free. The quality of these videos is very high. You can find what you're looking for very easily. Chinese. Do you want to learn Chinese? I think you'll give a negative answer. However, I'm sure you thought about the growing popularity of this language. More than 1 billion people speak Chinese. I mean people who are native speakers. This language is getting more and more popular nowadays. Many businessmen wish they knew Chinese. They need it for business. I think it's an interesting idea to learn this language, but it's rather difficult. Libraries. Do you often go to library? This question was common, I suppose, 10 or 15 years ago. Everything has changed with the internet. You don't need to go to library. If you want to read something or find some information, you can find almost everything online. You know, it's a real revolution. As for me, I used to go to library, but I found it a bit boring. It took me a lot of time and I couldn't find quickly what I was looking for. If you use the internet, you can find very good information. Some people believe that there is only rubbish online. You know, there was such a problem maybe 5 or 10 years ago when there were few websites and when the level of competition was very low. You see that websites compete with each other. They can't offer bad quality or uninteresting information. If they do it, no one will visit them. I particularly like online libraries, including our channel English Professionally too. It's also like a huge library of video courses for all English learners. Reading. Reading is my main hobby, but I don't think that I read only books. On the contrary, I don't have enough patience to read the book completely. In other words, I'm very impatient. I like reading something short and really informative. It seems to me that reading different kinds of articles isn't a waste of time. I have my favorite websites. I really enjoy reading. Good. So, swimming. As you might guess, I have several hobbies. Swimming is one of my main hobbies. I really enjoy swimming. I go to the swimming pool twice a week. It helps me be strong and fit. However, it isn't for free. I have to pay money for it, but I don't care. It's some kind of investment. I think if we need to get something, we need to invest. When it's hot, I like swimming in the open air. My hobby, chess. You know, I'm quite good at mathematics. I like this science. I also like chess. Some people think that this game is very boring. In my opinion, everything can seem boring, even though if we know little about it or if we don't know how to do it. I play chess professionally. I often take the first place in different chess tournaments. One game can last for 3 hours. It's a normal thing. Okay? You have to make your brains work all this time. It's really very exhausting. My hobby, English. If I say that I like English, it won't be enough. English is my passion. I am fond of this language. When I have free time, I try to speak English. I also watch English movies and different programs in English. When you speak English, you experience a wonderful feeling. It's like you have wings. So it's never boring for me to do something related to English somehow. I like speaking English most of all. My hobby, foreign languages. I'd like to tell you that I particularly like foreign languages. I know English quite well. I have many friends who live in other countries and I speak English with them. I think my English level is enough for this purpose. I also started learning French. The pronunciation in this language is a little unusual for me, but in general this language is quite easy. I like to learn Chinese or Japanese. I think I'll start with Chinese, okay? So, good. Very good. So, my hobby cooking. I like cooking, it's my hobby. Why do I like cooking? It's for several reasons. I'd like to start with the main reason. Guess what it is? Cooking helps me relax. I work very hard all day and I feel really tired at the end of the day. I want to have a rest. When I cook, it's like a rest for me. It takes my stress away. The second reason is that I like to eat something tasty and healthy. I'm for healthy food. My hobby fitness. I like fitness. Some people don't understand what fitness is. I'll tell you what I think about it. Fitness is a way of life. One day you realize that you want to change your life. You want to be in a perfect shape. You want to look attractive and sexy. You start thinking how to do it. This idea can come into your mind, join a fitness club and work on your body. You'll improve your health and people around you will look at you with a sense of admiration. My hobby is cycling. I am fond of cycling. I know some people like playing computer games all day and they prefer to stay at home. I also play computer games from time to time, but I prefer to lead a healthy lifestyle. I like cycling with my friends. I can do it alone, but it's a bit boring for me, so I usually go cycling with my friends. We can cover a very long distance. Right, we usually feel tired, but it helps us relax and burn some calories. My hobby, walking. I really like walking. I work 5 days a week. I can get to work by car or using public transport. If I go to work by car, it takes me about 20 minutes, taking into account traffic jams. If I go to work by underground, it takes me 1 hour. Which variant do I prefer? I prefer the third variant. I prefer to go to work on foot. It takes me 1 hour and 10 minutes. I know it's longer, but I relax in such a way. It's also good for my health. My hobby, photography. I like photography. It's my main hobby. I often think how to earn money. I think this hobby can become my future profession. I really like taking different photos and I see that these photos are excellent. It isn't only my opinion. I show my photos to different people and they think absolutely the same. I don't want to boast and I just wanted to tell you about my hobby. I'm really happy that I'm very good at photography. I can do it really well. My hobby, jogging. I'm not a professional runner, but I really like jogging. I usually go jogging early in the morning. It's very easy to do it in summer because the days in summer are much longer than in winter. I also go jogging in winter time, but not in the open air. I also go to the gym. I often do different kinds of exercises there. You know, jogging is for my endurance. It's for my health. It's for my shape. It's a very good exercise. Sometimes I go jogging with my friends. Things I enjoy doing. Let me tell you about the things I really enjoy doing. I enjoy learning. It's never too late to learn. I often come to the following conclusion. I know that I know nothing. The more I learn, the more I understand it. I like teaching English. I like sharing my knowledge with other people. I want other people to know English better. Advertising. What do you think about advertising? Does it annoy you? If you ask my opinion, we can't do without advertising. Companies want to sell more and they give advertising. They can't sell without advertising. Companies which don't promote their products can't be successful. Who will know about their products? I think that advertising is a normal thing, but I hate aggressive advertising. My future. I'd like to talk about my future. You know, when you study at school, it's difficult to predict what your future will be like. However, I perfectly understand that I want to have a good future. It isn't surprising. I think we all want it. I want to be successful. I want to get a good education and find a good job. If I do it, I'll have enough money for myself, and for my future family. My future career. I'll tell you my thoughts about my future career. I study at university, I study management, I want to be a very successful manager. I want to make a career in management. It's my first aim. Okay? So, then I'd like to have my own business, but first I need to get some initial capital and work experience. I need to develop my professional skills. I need to become a real expert in management. I think I'll achieve my aim. My plans for the future. I will tell you about my plans for the future. I'm an open person and I want to be open with you. I want to become a doctor. I like medicine. I understand that it isn't so easy to become a good doctor, but I have no choice. I've got used to doing everything very well. If I do something, I do it well. So if I become a doctor, I'll be a good doctor. I'll study very hard and I think I'll be a very famous doctor one day. I don't want to do business. That's right that I don't want to do business. I want to be a specialist and work for a company. Doing business isn't interesting for me. I like working for someone. The second reason why I'm not interested in business is that it's very risky. You can lose all your money. We see a very high level of competition nowadays. You can't deny the fact that the competition in most businesses is fierce. I want stability. I want to do business. I have always wanted to do business. It's my greatest dream. I want to have a profitable business. So it's my aim. I need to understand how I can make my dream come true. I need to do several things. To have a good business idea, to write a business plan, to test this business idea. If everything is good, I'll try to find an investor or save up some money. So I need to do the first thing. Job satisfaction. I work as an office manager. To tell you the truth, I find my job really boring. This job isn't creative at all. I feel that I don't develop here. Moreover, I'll tell you a very interesting fact. I think you'll be shocked. I have been getting the same salary for the last 5 years. Just imagine it, it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm sure I need to find another job. I'm not satisfied with this job. Big money. What is big money and how to earn it? Do you think it's easy to answer? I think it's relatively easy. What does it mean? It isn't so easy to define what big money is. It's different for all people. For someone, $5,000 is a huge sum of money, while for someone it's almost nothing. When people want to earn big money, they need to understand what sum of money, right, they want to get in the future. Then they need to realize how to do it. What is big money in your opinion? Unemployment. Unemployment is a terrible thing. When there is unemployment, people don't have a job. In other words, they are out of work. Why is this thing terrible? People need money to satisfy basic needs. If people don't work, they don't have money. They can't buy things. I wish there were no unemployed and homeless people. We need to get a good education to find a good job. Building our future. I think our future depends on us. Time passes very quickly, time flies, we sometimes don't notice it. I think it's important to have the right life strategy. We need to understand how to get a good job, how to have many good friends, and certainly how to find your second half. All these things are very important. I think we need to take different opportunities that life gives us. We need to build our future. I wish you good luck. Knowledge is power. Do you agree that knowledge is power? I think you'll give a positive answer. I also think knowledge is very important. But what knowledge? There is one big problem in our modern society. There is too much unnecessary information. For example, you need to find some information, you start looking for it online. You visit different websites, and some websites are completely useless. Computer games. We all see that many people like playing computer games. Is it good or bad? I think it isn't bad unless you are addicted to it. If you are addicted to something, you can't do without it. You want to do it again and again. You can't control yourself. Your actions are beyond control. As for me, I used to play computer games. It was so exciting. If you look at my life now, I don't have much free time. I have a very tight schedule. Our modern education. Are you satisfied with our modern education? Personally, I think it sometimes leaves a lot to be desired. There are many problems in the educational area. Teachers are underpaid. I think the job is very difficult and they deserve good money, if they teach well. Let's look at universities, for example. We often see that professional teachers with good work experience aren't ready to work for this money. As a result, we often see teachers who know only theory. The value of education. I think the value of education is undeniable. We can't deny it. I mean the value of good education. The quality of education can be different. I'm happy about my education. I think my school gave me a lot. We could study up to 4 foreign languages at school. I like YouTube. I'm really fond of YouTube. I like watching different videos here. There are so many interesting channels on YouTube. When you watch TV, the choice is very limited. You can't choose what you want exactly. The situation here on YouTube is completely different. The number of channels is getting bigger and bigger. I discovered YouTube for myself about 4 years ago. There were few videos. We see the opposite situation nowadays. My aims. I have several aims. I think it's important to set aims. If you want to achieve something in life, you need to understand what you really want. For example, you want to find a good job. It's your wish, it's your desire, it's your dream. However, do you have a name? A name is usually concrete. I will give you an example of this kind of aim. I want to work for a big international company and earn at least $2,000 next year. If you have figures in your aims, it's easier to achieve this aim and measure your progress. Let me give you one more example. Many people want to improve their English, but it isn't an aim. I'll give you an example of an aim. I must reach upper intermediate level by the beginning of next year. You indicate what result you really need and you set a time limit. My first aim. I'll tell you about my aims. I'll start with my first aim. I want to have a strong intermediate English level by the end of this year. I think it's quite possible. My English level is pre-intermediate now. I'm going to study English very hard. What can I do? First of all, I need to study grammar. I also need to widen my vocabulary. I need to know more words. Last but not least, daily speaking practice is desirable. My second aim. I'm going to tell you about my second aim. I want to improve my shape. Actually, I'm in a good shape. My body is quite strong. Anyway, it isn't enough for me. I'd like to be in a perfect shape. I don't want to be ashamed of my body. I want to be proud of it. So I need to do physical exercises regularly. I'm also planning to start going jogging. I will improve my endurance. I need to work on my body. I really want great results. My third aim. My third aim is connected with money. I want to increase my income. I live on my salary. It's $500 a month. I think it's too little for a big city. I also think that you'll agree with me. So I want to get at least $1,000 monthly. How can I do it? The answer is quite simple. I need to find another job where I'll be able to get this sum of money. Right. I'm going to make up my CV first and place it on different websites. This is my plan. My fourth aim. What is my fourth aim? I want to read at least 2 English books on business a month. I know it may seem a little strange, but I'm going to do it for several reasons. Can you guess them? You might think that I want to enrich my business vocabulary. That's absolutely right. I won't argue with it. However, I have other reasons. I want to do it because I want to get real knowledge. So this reason is more important for me, okay? My fifth aim. My fifth aim can seem a bit strange. I know it. I want to speak Chinese. I want to make myself understood. I can speak English without any problems. English is easy. I can't say the same about Chinese. Why do I want to know this language? Learning Chinese is a popular trend nowadays. We do business with China. Chinese people particularly like it when you can speak Chinese. I think you can build more successful relations. My sixth aim. My sixth aim is connected with cars. I want to learn to drive a car. I come to the conclusion that I really need a car. I can't do without it. My life will get brighter after I buy a car or after I start driving a car. Some people say there are too many traffic jams. I see, I understand. Nevertheless, it's mostly in a rush hour. I want to go to the country house and spend time with my girlfriend. My seventh aim. I am a bit overweight, so I feel uncomfortable is the first thing. The second thing is that it isn't healthy. It isn't good for my health. How did I get overweight? I think I don't do enough physical exercises and I eat unhealthy food. And there is one more thing that I want to mention. I often eat before going to bed. So I think that I need to go on a diet and practice sport. Do you think it will help me? I want to buy a new computer. That's absolutely right that I want to buy a new computer. I need it urgently. I have a computer but it's very old. You can't imagine how slow it is. I turn on my computer and then I wait. It lasts and lasts. I can wait for 15 minutes. Only after that, I can start using my computer. I really hate it. I need to change it. So I decided to ask my parents to buy me a new computer. I'm sure it'll be a very good present. I want to help my parents. Really, I want to help my parents, but I don't know how to do it. I study at school and I don't work, so I can't help my parents with money. I think I'll be able to help them with money, but later. I need to grow up. My best friend gave me a very interesting idea. He thinks that we can help our parents another way. We can do housework. It's one thing, it's also important not to upset them. I want to learn 100 words a day. I have a strange wish. I want to learn 100 words a day. It's a real pity, but it's impossible. If you have a good memory, you can remember it. You can remember the first 2000 most common English words. You remember it, but how long? I doubt that you'll remember it for a long time. I also think it's important to know the basics of grammar. If you don't know it, you won't be able to build sentences correctly. I want to understand native speakers. I can speak English, that's great. I can understand what other people say in English if they aren't from England or America and so on. I can say that I can understand non-native speakers of English pretty easily. They speak slowly and they don't have a wide range of vocabulary. When I speak to native speakers, I experience big problems. I understand them, but not completely. I need to improve my listening skills. I want to have a good memory. I think my memory is awful. I want to have a better memory. If I have a good memory, I'll save lots of time. In this case, I'll be able to learn things by heart much more quickly. How can I improve my memory? I think I need additional training. I need to learn something by heart every day. If I do it, it'll be easier and easier for me to memorize something. I wish I had a perfect memory. I want to make fewer mistakes. I can speak English, but I make mistakes sometimes. It really annoys me. Actually, I'm a perfectionist. I like doing everything perfectly. If I speak English, I must do it perfectly. I must do it without mistakes at all. I need to minimize the number of my mistakes. How can I do it? I suppose that I need to start improving my grammar. Really, I need to do more exercises on grammar. I want to speak English fluently. I like foreign languages and I particularly like English. I can speak English, but I can't say that I can speak English perfectly. Sometimes I can't remember certain words. Sometimes I speak too slowly. Sometimes I feel that I make mistakes, but I don't know it exactly. It's a terrible feeling. I know it's important to speak English correctly, it's my aim, but first of all, I want to speak English fluently. I want to overcome the language barrier. Breaking down the language barrier. I started learning English 2 years ago. I really like this language and I understand that I need English. I think I know enough English words and grammar. I have a problem with speaking. It's really very strange. I know all these words, but when I speak English with someone, I often forget them. I can't remember them for some reason. As a result, I don't have enough confidence. I have a language barrier. I think I need more practice and training. I must speak English more and take every opportunity to do it. I think the more practice I have, the easier it will be for me to speak English. I want to have more free time. I study at university and work at the same time. It's really very difficult to combine work and study. I don't have free time at all and I don't know how to solve this problem. I work from 9 to 6 and then I go to university. I must also find time for doing my homework. I know this time is difficult, but I have no choice. I must work. If I don't work, I won't have money and I won't be able to pay for my education. I want to study better. I study at school. I'm in the 8th form. Sometimes I get bad marks and I get really upset. I don't like it. I prefer to get only excellent marks. If I get a 5, I feel so happy. I understand that I deserve it. I really know this subject. If I get a bad mark, I have completely opposite feelings. I feel depressed, I want to study better, I want to get knowledge, I want to get a good profession. I think social networks sometimes distract my attention. I want to have my own online shop. One shop. I want to have my own online shop. So as you see, there are lots of online shops. So this trend is very popular. The number of online shops is constantly growing. There are more and more people who start thinking about having their own online shop. I'm one of them. If you have an online shop, you don't have to go to work and stay there all day. You can work from home. You'll answer calls and emails. I think it's a very interesting idea. What's your opinion? I often waste time. I notice that I often waste time. It's absolutely terrible. For example, yesterday was my day off. I was going to learn English all day. What happened in reality? I didn't learn English at all. Although I had plenty of free time, I played computer games. It was so funny. I talked to my friends on the phone. I went to the park and I was out for about 5 hours. Sometimes I think that I don't manage my time well. I really need to manage my time better. I don't like it when I waste time. I feel really bad. What a shame. Time flies. Time is our resource. We can't get it back. I wish all people manage their time effectively. Okay, thanks for attention. Thanks for support. See you. Bye. Hi. Welcome to the channel English Professionally, and this video course is for you. 150 English texts. Really, I think that this course is great. Okay, thanks for support, and there are 150 English texts in this course. If you want to understand English speech really well, this course is for you. It's a very good listening practice. You can listen to these very interesting texts. I prepared them especially for you, and listen to them at the same time. Watch all this video. It's a very good speaking practice too, to have a natural English conversation. Okay? So are you ready? I hope that you're ready to start. Okay, so let's do it. Well, so the first one, my attitude towards sport. There is no doubt that sport plays a very important role in our life. As for me, I am fond of sport. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a professional sportsman. I just love different kinds of sport and I do sport when I have free time. I know there are many reasons why people think sport is important in our life. Personally, I think it helps me to be fit and it brings positive emotions into my life. It's part of my life. Next, making a career. I think it's very important to make a career. Firstly, I want to get a good education. Secondly, I'd like to have some work experience. It's very important for me and for my future employer. It's very difficult to find a job if you don't have any work experience. I really like to move up the career ladder. It will bring more money, success and satisfaction. Often, they are happy when you are happy, even though you aren't his or her friend. Computer. I have a computer. Of course, you aren't surprised. Everyone has a computer nowadays. My computer is very powerful and modern. I bought it last year for $1,000. I do lots of different things with the help of my computer. I work, study, and entertain. It's almost impossible to do without a computer nowadays. Internet. As for me, I use the internet every day. Why do I need it? First of all, for work. I receive around 200 emails. I receive about 200 emails every day and I have to answer all of them. Really, my work is connected with the internet. I work for a big company which sells different goods online. I also have to monitor the market. It's a lot of work. The second reason is that I use the internet for entertainment. I like watching different videos on YouTube. Yesterday. I had an ordinary day yesterday. I was busy almost all day. I went to work very early and came back at about 6 o'clock in the evening. After that, I went for a walk with my friends. We walked for about 2 hours. The weather was fine. We had a great time together. I like spending time with my friends. I didn't watch TV in the evening. I prefer to spend time online, so I used the internet until midnight. Then I went to bed. My profession. I'm a sales manager. I like my profession. I like communicating with people. Is it easy to be a sales manager? I think it's a matter of experience and professional skills. It isn't so easy to sell, but I sell very good products. The quality of these products is supreme. A very good way of training. Write more, make up your own texts, try to have more practice. Reading. From my point of view, reading is a very good pastime. What do I read in my free time? I read mostly books related to my profession or my hobbies. Moreover, I'd like to be sincere. I don't want to look very clever. I'll tell you things how they are. I prefer to read articles, so you can read one long book or 30 articles. I think that reading articles is a short way of getting knowledge. It takes less time and the information is great. Spelling. Let's talk about spelling. Is it important? I think it is. However, it isn't in the first place. So, what is in the first place? I think speaking, and in the second, grammar and vocabulary. To sum up, I don't want to say that spelling is unimportant. You know, we are writing less and less nowadays. I mean with our hands. Okay? So, good. So, computer programs can correct our mistakes. Life is easier with modern technology. Okay, with modern technology. So really, life is easier with it. Okay. Well, So, next. The popularity of English. We can't deny the popularity of English. All people need this language. When you travel, you need English. When you do business with foreign partners, you can't do without English. When you communicate with people from other countries, you also do it mostly in English. We can come to the conclusion that it's necessary to know English well. If you have time and motivation, you can also start learning other foreign languages. English grammar. I think it's important to know English grammar. What are the most important parts of English grammar? I think it's the following: tenses, present simple, past simple, future simple, present continuous, present perfect, verbs, be, do, see. I want to be the best in this area. Business. I'd like to have my own business. What can it give me? Lots of positive things. For example, money, freedom, independence, respect, new friends and connections. I know that successful businessmen earn lots of money. At the same time, it's very difficult to reach this level. I mean, to have a successful or profitable company. Moreover, it's risky. The level of competition is very high nowadays. Anyway, I am full of energy and I feel I can try. Our friends. A friend in need is a friend indeed. I absolutely agree with this statement. Friends help us when we have different problems and when we need their help, but friendship isn't only about help. It's much more. I like spending time with my friends. It's a wonderful feeling to have real friends who will never let you down and who will always support you and help in trouble. Money. Let's talk about money. It's a very important subject. I suppose everyone will agree that money gives us freedom. It helps us feel financially independent. I mean, if we have lots of money and different sources of income. The more money we have, the more things we can afford to buy. It goes without saying. However, I think money shouldn't be the meaning of life. It's just one side of our life. Money is a means. It isn't everything. Love. What is love? I think it's a wonderful feeling. All people want to be loved. However, real love isn't only about receiving. It's about giving, helping, caring, supporting. In my opinion, real love is without evil. If you love someone for something, it can be called pure love. It seems to me that people who have a clean heart love other people for nothing. So let me make a conclusion. If you offer a very good product and this product is unique in some way, your sales will be stunning. You will sell well and you will make other people happy. Learning English. I like learning English. It's more than just a hobby. Certainly, I do it for pleasure, but I perfectly understand that I need English for my career growth. I started learning English 5 years ago. Actually, I tried different methods. I think that when you learn English online, especially for free, that's great. It's possible to find very good materials in video format, so this channel, English Professionally, is no exception. I'm so happy. Improving listening skills. I want to tell you one story. This is a real story. This is a story from my life experience. To tell you the truth, I had lots of problems with listening in the past. It was a real problem for me. I managed to solve this problem and improve my listening skills greatly. I understand everything and my English level is advanced. I think that I know English like native speakers. The secret of good listening skills is quite simple. Listen to something in English as much as you can. Improving speaking skills. You have to agree that it's very important to speak English fluently. Many people know English grammar, but they can't speak English. They have a language barrier and they can't overcome this barrier. I think the situation is familiar to you. I firmly believe that it's possible to start speaking English quite quickly if you train regularly. To speak English, well, you need more practice. Try to speak English every day. It should be like a habit. Improving writing skills. I think that we need to speak English well first of all. However, it's important to write in English correctly. What does it mean? We should write without mistakes and clearly. How can we improve our writing skills? It seems to me that we need to write more. I know most people don't like it. It can seem very boring, but it's